So my grown-up living was going very well. It was going very well, my grown-up living in my flat with my coasters and everything. But then it took a little bit of a nosedive because I realized there was one thing I no longer had, which I really relied on, and that was my mother, okay? Because I will be the first to admit, Hammersmith, I'm a massive mummy's boy, okay? My mum is incredible. She does everything for me. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my mum. That's a fact. That's a fact. No, but when I first started doing, stand-up and stuff, I was too young to drive, for example. So my mum used to drive me to all of my gigs. She'd drive me there, I'd do the show, and then she'd wait outside in the car, and then she'd take me back afterwards. So, I know, rock and roll. It meant it was quite hard to pick up ladies after shows. Yeah, you want to come back to my crib, babe? Yeah, my ride's outside. It's the Volvo estate. You'll have to sit in the back, because me and mother like to ride up front, listen to Radio 4. Not many people came back with me. But I realized I didn't have my mum anymore. I didn't have my mum. And I decided what I was going to do, okay, this was my idea, was because I no longer had her, I thought I could start dating my mum. Not my actual mum, that sounds weird. No, I mean like a version of my mum that there would obviously be like a sexual aspect to as well that there wasn't with my real mum. This is coming out wrong. No, which is not to say actually when I was living at home with my mum there wasn't one sexual element, and that was my mum had garnered the greatest weapon that any woman can have in any relationship with a man, the ability to deny a man from having sex, right? Because men, we just want to have sex all the time. Or, how old are you over there in the t-shirt? How old are you? Yeah. 19, you must be like a ball of spunk. You haven't been listening to a word I've been saying, you've just been working out when you can clamber onto the stage and that E. But we do, we want sex all the time, we're animalistic. And if a woman can turn around and be like, no, come for you, you have control. I realize that's not how women do it. Do you want to make love? No, come for you. But my mum did. She tried to stop me from having sex when I was living at home. And it wasn't that she didn't mind me having sex elsewhere. That wasn't a problem. Like, I remember I went away on my first ever sort of stag weekend with some friends to this horny, hooker-ridden pimple in Eastern Europe called Tallinn. My mum helped me pack my bag. In the front pocket, my mum put 30 condoms. 30. I was there for 2 days. I counted them when I came back. There was 31. But it was sex in her house that she wasn't happy with. And she had all these different ways, a whole arsenal of ways of stopping me from having sex in her house. Now, the first thing she did was to try and desexualize my bedroom. And she thinks I didn't notice. It was so obvious. The longer I'd be going out with a girl, the more children's toys would suddenly appear littered on the floor. Family photographs adorning every single mantelpiece. A massive framed picture of my creepy uncle above the bed. And this huge mound of cushions as well, towered high over the bedspread that you'd have to hack through before you could even get into the sheets. And they all had little things embroidered on them as well to kill any kind of sexual mood. You know, home sweet home, mummy knows best, daddy's under the bed. And it didn't stop there. It didn't stop there, no. The other one she did, right, is as soon as I turned 18, she bought me a new bed. I was like, oh, thanks, Mum, a new bed. The loudest bed I've ever had sex on in my entire life. This thing would creak in space. And it's not like I was having loud sex on it as well. I was trying to have the quiet... I don't know why I'm looking at you there, Darren. I'm sorry. No, but I was trying to have the quietest sex that I could possibly... I was very conscious that my mum was beneath me. Not beneath. No. I mean the room below, you sick fucks. It was stealth sex, that's what I used to call it, like proper stealth sex, the quiet. Me and my girlfriend at the time, we'd be having sex so quietly, we were doing it like we were Anne Frank's parents. It was that. Yeah, she didn't put that in the diary. I can't do anything fun as well. Can't do anything experimental. If I came home from a night out, we were a little bit tipsy maybe, she might be like, oh, Jack, do you want to try a bit of role play? Could you just play dead? Honestly, that would help. Sex for me at home, right, in my mum's house, became a little bit like arriving late at the theatre and trying to find your seat. Just a lot of shuffling, a bit of shushing, a pause, and then from somewhere in the darkness, just a whispered, I'm sorry. to say as well that I ever wanted any sort of weird sex. I don't like anything like odd. Like when it comes to sex, I like it very simple. I'm quite British about the whole thing, quite sort of Victorian British. I want 3 minutes in the dark, then we both roll over, assume the fetal position and cry for a bit. That's how it's done. And none of that talking. I hate the talking. I can't stand any of the talking during sex. I hate that. They say during sex a woman should lie back and think of England. I couldn't agree more, but I think maybe let's make it more specific. Lie back and think of London. Don't make any eye contact with me and don't you dare start a conversation. Because I've had a girl that tried to get me to do the dirty talk thing, and I warned her that it wouldn't work. This is not a sexy voice. This voice does not work within the echelons of a sexual environment. Therefore, any sexual contact will be conducted in complete silence. But she wouldn't listen. She insisted on doing it. I'd warned her it wouldn't work. She was like, oh, Jack, tell me I've been a bad girl. You've been a very bad girl. How bad? How bad? How bad? I don't know. Is there a scale? Worse than a looter, not as bad as Harold Shipman. Are you happy now?